Hello, I'm Vicky Haworth of Fitness Function. I thought I should introduce myself because it may be that you're thinking of coming and joining one of my classes. And I think I should sort of just explain how I got to where I am today and why my classes are really quite unique. So most of my working life was spent as a nurse. I was intensive care sister with the army. I did positions as night sister and lots of hospital jobs, but then I went into general practice, which is where I spent most of my working life as a nurse, specialising in asthma and diabetes. But I did get into fitness and became a bit of a gym junkie, and I reached a bit of a crossroads in my career, and I thought, you know, I'm going to train as a fitness instructor. And some people said I'd never make it because I have got 2 left feet and I'm flat-footed. So I did a personal training diploma over 3 months full time, and also during that time we studied sports massage and sports therapy. So that's why I have a sort of fairly medical bent, of course, from my nursing background. So I did that, and then I did a bit of personal training, but then I went into the studio because I love body pump. Well, cut a long story short, I then, because someone said I'd never make it, decided I had to prove them wrong, which is a bit of a character thing with me. So I did everything: body pump, yoga, body balance, body combat. That was probably the toughest. Oh, exercise to music, that's aerobics. That was a challenge. Circuits, aqua, everything. And at the peak of my career, having made it against all the odds, I was teaching 22 classes a week. And a lot of it's high impact. And I'd come into the fitness industry late anyway. So I got to know my osteopath very well. In fact, I was there every week. And it came to a point where she said, if you carry on going like this, you'll come to a point where I can't fix you. She said, do Pilates. Well, I had done my Pilates training, but I sort of preferred doing all the sort of lifting weights and stuff. Anyway, so I decided to start Pilates, but I said I wanted to specialize in back pain, and she mentored me, and I took my classes away from the gym. I still taught in gyms, but I took my classes away, and I started to teach Pilates in the community. I had a business mentor, so you know, we got it onto a fairly professional footing. Then I saw this advertisement for Trigger Point Pilates, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. And I was using spiky balls, but I was using these hard evil ones at that time. So I think I was one of only the second batch of Trigger Point Pilates teachers trained in the country. That's about 9 years ago now. And gradually my Pilates evolved, incorporating more and more of it, until now it is pure Trigger Point. Plus I do use things that I got from sports therapy. So it is kind of unique to me. Anyway, we do classes. I'm on Zoom now. I did shut down. I used to do live classes, but with March last in 2020, obviously things had to change quite a lot. And now I have clients in all over the country. Got someone joining me this week from Hereford, Oxford, Kent, London, Eastbourne, Havant, Brighton, all sorts of places. And most of my clients are from Crawley, which is where I lived. I now live on the south coast. This isn't quite where I live, but this is Worthing, but I'm just a little bit down the road in Lancing now. So my conservatory has become my studio. We have green screens, so as you see, we have a view behind us. We change it where we go different places every day. We might go to Costa Rica or wherever. We depending on how the mood takes me. So with this, when you first start coming into a class, because we do have equipment, you need to just adapt things, because you won't want to go to the expense of buying stuff. The biggest thing we use, and I wouldn't probably have you using it on your first class anyway, but it's a roller, and it's about 4.5 inches across. Now, some people have got bigger rollers. The 6-inch ones are more easily attainable, but they're really a little bit too big. But you can use them if you've got them, only because they'll extend you a bit too much when you lie on them. And we lie on them from head to tail. But you can use. Someone's using a bolster. Somebody's using towels that are rolled up into a sausage to try and get the same sort of size. This one is quite a hard one. The ones most people have is a cheaper one, but this is the deluxe version. So we lie on the roller and we start the class on the floor. So most of the class is on the floor. We stand up at the end, but we lie on the floor most of the time. So you're just lying there, and we'll do movements in wings and all sorts of things, really, because What the class focuses on, although it's called Trigger Point Pilates, is myofascial release. We will work on trigger points, hypersensitive areas. If the muscles are all tight up into a little bunch, the muscle fibers either side can't work properly. So releasing trigger points helps you release anyway. But myofascia is, if you imagine a chicken breast and you take the slimy skin off, take the skin off, you've got a secondary slimy skin underneath. This is fascia. It is everywhere, but you can't stretch it, but you can release it. And the way you release it is with pressure and movement. So we've got the pressure of the roller, but the other major thing is the pressure of the balls. Now I say that's the sort of spiky ball you'll probably get on eBay. Don't use them. This is the ball we use. So it's a little bit squidgy. I have all this stuff in stock. They're expensive if you buy them online because you pay massive postage. But we have a couple of those. Now, when you first start, you could use a tennis ball, but they're a little bit hard. What you can do is you can get some socks. If you've got 2 pairs of socks, split them so they're going to be the same side, roll them into a ball, and then just tuck the end over. And that will do to start with. I'm doing that. That would do for starters, and that will give you a bit of a squidgy ball. Because sports socks are better because they're a bit thick. So that would replace the balls. We also use, it's not essential, but these balls. Most people have a green one, but green balls, green screen don't work. Otherwise, I just disappear into the ether. You could use a cushion because we put that between our knees just to give you a little bit of pressure, and sometimes we just hold it, or we put it under our tail for doing some pelvic tilts. So as I say, I specialize in back pain. Not that everyone's got back pain, but 4 out of 5 people will have back pain at some stage in their life. So getting your spine moving, keeping it going isn't a bad thing for anyone. I've quite a few people with shoulder problems, so we'll work on that. I've got people with knee replacements, people with hip replacements, and people who are absolutely fine, but they still feel the benefit of releasing their body. There will be core strength as well, inevitably, and pelvic floor is part of your core. So, people that have babies and things, good to work the pelvic floor. So that's the ball. So a cushion could replace that. Stretchy bands. Amazing how many people have got these. If you haven't got one, you could have a pair of tights. It's when we stretch our hamstrings. Tight hamstrings will impact on your back. So we stretch our hamstrings always. So using the band is good, but a pair of tights or leggings could suffice in place of that. So I think there's things you can use to replace the stuff we use. Anyway, that's a little bit of what I do. It seems to be very successful and popular. I would offer anyone can come to a class for just to see. There's never any hard sell with me. I think the class kind of sells itself. But anyway, that's up to you. If you would like to come to a class, contact me either through Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Fitness Function. I have a fitness group, Fitness Function Trigger Point Pilates on Facebook. You have to request to join that one, but it's open to anybody. Apart from you get some weird people asking things, but anyway, just anyone, I would accept you, I'm sure. Or my email is Vicky, V-I-C-K-Y, Fitness Function, so all one word, vickyfitnessfunction@gmail.com. I don't have a website anymore because, to be honest, I didn't feel that it was worth the expense. The classes kind of sell themselves, and a lot of my referrals are by word of mouth. So anyway, let me know if you want to come for a class. As I say, no hard sell. You're welcome to try it. It's either for you or it's not. And I hope to see you sometime. Okay, bye.